So we have trickled down. It looks like we have everybody in the room. So we're going to start. We have for you two properties. They're sister properties. They're connected. So that's why you're going to learn about two properties today. They are called Sunscape Cozumel in Cozumel and Secrets Aura Cozumel. Two different products, but connected in the same area. So we have Rita Morales and Ileana from Secrets and Sunscape here. And then we have Evelyn from Dive House, who is the dive operator on site at both. And just fun fact, guys, a couple of things real quick, and then I'll hand you over. One, Secrets is actually where my daughter got married 2 years ago. So this is where we picked for our daughter's wedding for a number of reasons, but it was an absolutely beautiful property, easy to get to, price was right, fantastic inclusion. So just kind of bear that in mind, that it's got a very special place in my heart. And in addition to that, Secrets and Sunscape, right at the last minute out of the gate, we've been saying for a while, 6 prizes for this, which was absolutely mind-blowing and phenomenal anyway. But then Secrets and Sunscape came out of the gate yesterday and literally handed us 2 prizes, 1 for each resort. So we really, really want to thank them for that, and just thank you for the wow factor. That was amazing. So I'm going to shut up now, and I'm going to hand you over to the ladies that they're going to transport you over to Cozumel.
Thank you, Cheryl. We are so excited of this presentation. We have 2 resorts in Cozumel. Secrets Aura, which is the adults only resort in the Cozumel Island, and we have Sunscape, which is located next door of Cozumel. So we are located in the south side of Cozumel Island, very close to the main dive sites of the island. Located 20 minutes away from downtown, you will see this is the main building of Secrets Aura. Beautiful beach. This is our lobby area, very fresh and beautiful. It's the only adults only resort in the destination with the slides. It's really fun area where we have mostly of the activities in the pool section. So we have 4 pools in Secrets Aura. La Cava, which is our next to the Bordeaux restaurant, is our French cuisine restaurant. We have different bars and restaurants. Majority of our restaurants are at la carte. Four restaurants at la carte and 1 buffet restaurant. We have also fully equipped gym and spa. 266 rooms, some of them located oceanfront, and Secrets and Sunscape are the only resorts in the destination with that kind of rooms where when you can open the window and touch the sand. Mm-hmm. Beautiful views. And we have different activities. So we have entertainment with the live music, team parties, fun parties on Fridays or Saturdays. It depends of the weather. And we have hobby cat, paddleboard, kayaks, snorkel equipment that is free of charge to our guests. And the pier, where Dive House pick up our guests to take them to the reefs. And next door is Sunscape Sabor Cozumel, which is our family resort. We have a very good news. This hotel in this time is having an enhancement in the deluxe room category. It's a big remodeling of the rooms. It's taking place right now. Have beautiful beaches. This is our main lobby facing to the ocean. Two pools and one additional pool for scuba diving training. Different bars, 3 restaurants and 1 restaurant buffet. A spa and gym, 18 rooms. And those are the rooms that we are working on with the renovation, the deluxe tropical view are remodeling right now. This is how it looks like after the renovation. Fresh and nice colors, more modern furnishing. It was changed all the bath area. We offer in this resort daily activities and entertainment 3 times per week, theme nights with live music. And we have a kids club, teenagers club, and entertainment for all the family. Dive house is the dive operation that the dive operator that we have on site in both hotels. We have a training pool and all diving services. Evelyn, could you please?
Sure. Sure. So we have a dive store right on site on both hotels. We have a training pool. So we have classes for all levels of divers. We have dive trips twice a day. We go out to the reefs. Dive sites are chosen by the divers on the boat. And we put group people according to experience levels so that you can enjoy your dive with someone of your same level. We also have night dives. There's so much to see, so much to do. We have the marine life is really coming back beautifully with tons of turtles, sharks. It's a lot of fun. Can hardly wait till you guys come down.
So we're getting ready for you to come back. We're more than happy with this full remodel of our deluxe tropical, and it will be ready for you to come and enjoy Cozumel and all that we have to offer in the resort.
Do we have any questions?
Any,
Yeah, okay, so we have a couple. Dennis, I'll try and find your mic, but Dennis had asked if all areas are open for diving again.
yes, all areas are open again for diving at this point. Right now for the COVID thing, everything is closed at this moment, but when they do reopen travel to Cozumel, there are no restrictions at this point.
David, well, Dennis, Dennis, you're live. Do you have anything you want to add to that any further?
No, that's good. I was just, last I heard there were some parts were shut down. But it's good to hear they're open again.
Yeah, last year they had shut them down for a little bit of a rest, and it was only for about 6 weeks, and everything's been open since December.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm kind of really excited. I was out there in December of 2019, losing track of the days, weeks, and months. And I saw a little evidence of what was going on with that. And what we're hearing all over the world. And my dad actually lives on Cozumel, and we're hearing the one kind of upside on this whole COVID thing is Mother Earth is really benefiting from us all staying home. And I'm really hoping that all that may have cleared up with all the cruise ships gone and all the divers gone for a while. And my dad had been talking to some dive guides that had got to go out there before, they're in kind of lockdown. I know you guys are sort of in lockdown or curfew of your own right now, but before that happened, but the tourists stopped. And the dive guides were going out just for themselves with no tourists and were saying just how spectacular the dives were. And they'd actually spotted hammerheads coming through for a couple of days off of Cozumel, which is absolutely incredible. So I think as soon as it opens up, I mean, I think Cozumel diving is excellent anyway. But I mean, I just can't imagine that it's not going to be mind-blowing by the time this is all over.
Yes, for sure, definitely.
Can you share a little bit more about your diving with us, Evelyn? I know always we get questions about the drift diving and, if beginners can go there and things like, can you give us a little bit of an idea of the diving out there, what to expect?
Sure. What we'll do is when we start, we'll pick you up at the pier. We go out on the boat. You're going to get a nice briefing from the dive masters. And it's very easy diving. It's drift diving. So what we'll do, everyone gets ready, get into the water. You guys go down slowly. When you get ready and everyone's comfortable, you start drifting. And you just start until the end of your dive. You're going to come up, do your safety stop, and the boat will pick you up at the end of the dive. So it's very, very easy. We have reef dives and wall dives. Often the first dive will be like a wall dive. So master and drift along. And then the reef dives is where you see a lot of fish and a lot of color. It's really, really beautiful. Night dives also are something spectacular because, other animals come out. So it's really nice, really neat to see. And
Penny Johnson's asking, what are your favorite dive sites?
Oh, my favorite dive sites. Well, I love them all. I like Santa Rosa Wall. I like a lot Yocab, Tormentos, also Colombia. There's just so many, and you can dive the same site more than once and enjoy it and see something different every single time.
We have a lot of people in the chat box there sharing Paseo de Cedral is a favorite, Santa Rosa, Cedral Wall. I found anytime anything with a palancar in it as always good, whether it's palancar caves or palancar gardens, whatever. It starts with the palancar I'm in, but there's a lot of other ones too. Thank you. Caves and Horseshoe. Excellent. Yeah. Someone sharing how they've seen black tips there several times. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, I absolutely love Cozumel and its diving. So let's go on to another question. Christine Pace has asked, do you offer dive trips to the Musa site? And I am trying to get Christine live. So the MUSA site, Musa site, is anyone? Yeah, Christine, I'm trying to get you on. Bear with me. I think you've jumped us all. Here, Christine, you're live.
Hi. Yeah, the Musa the underwater dive museum site. Usually, isn't it between Cozumel and Cancun?
Oh, that is off of Cancun. It's between Cancun and Isla Mujeres. Yeah. So that'll be a different destination.
Okay, not something.
Evelyn, there was a question for you of the depth of the training pool at Sunscape. Do you know the depth of the training pool?
So the depth of the training pool is 12 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Christine, did that help?
Yes, it did. Thank you so
All
much.
right. We'd had a number in the chat box of people asking, can you do this tour and that tour? People have been asking, can you go across and do a day with the cenotes? The answer is absolutely. Can you do a day across and do the whale shark swim in the summer? Absolutely. There's a number of tours and things like that. People had asked about adding transfers. Typically, transfers are not included because there's laws in place to protect the taxi drivers. We can arrange transfers for you and incorporate in that in your package, but to be honest, it's quite easy to use taxis and very inexpensive straight out of Cozumel Hotel. If you found killer airfare in and out of Cancun, that was a question. Yes, we can lay on meet and greet transfers, or we can give you a cheaper option unless you're in a group, would be to do, again, taxi down to Playa and take a ferry. But to me, it wouldn't have to be substantial difference in airfare with a number of you in the party, because it can be done. Logistics are easy as far as everything is safe, but it's a pain in the butt for what you spend depending on how much you're saving. I would go straight into Cozumel if you could. So we absolutely can do a lot of add-ons. They have turtle nesting and turtle laying on the backside of the island a number of months, where you can actually get involved with the organization that does that and assist, help, observe, support. So that's something we can do as well, which is absolutely incredible. And I apologize, my doggies are in there now. So we're going to go to Ted Cole, that wants to know, without the future of COVID, do you know currently what your refund policy is on new bookings if they book now and COVID won't let them go? Do you have a policy in place right now for new bookings? I know it's a little bit different for ones that are already in place, as it is with everywhere else in the world. But if somebody wanted to book now because they were worried about you filling up, do you have something flexible in place in the light of COVID? And Ted, I'm trying to unmute you, but it's not letting me.
For dive
yeah, dive house, how are you handling it?
For dive house, no problem. You can make the reservation, and if for some reason you can't travel due to the COVID thing still, we'll just reschedule you.
For the side of the hotel, we're being really flexible, and I can tell you that we wouldn't do anything to affect you if it's on our hands. Of course, there's not a strict policy right now established, because we all hope and we all think that this would stop at some point and you all would be able to come. But as we set up a policy for all the travels and bookings that we had during these days, we would do, if we need to adjust and adapt, we would have to do it. Let me tell you that we're working 24 hours, we're tracking everything, and one of our main concerns is you as our clients, because you are the ones that keep us alive year after year. So if we need to adjust again and if we need to adapt, we would do so for sure.
Thank you. So just kind of keeping in that vein, David Pritchard wants to know any expectation as to when Cozumel will open back up.
We're scheduled to reopen on May 15. Of course, this is, it doesn't depend only on us. It depends on all the governments. And right now we haven't updated anything. If we update any dates and we have to change dates of reopen, we would let the Blue know and they would get in contact with you. This is something that there's no way to know. We're just working day by day.
Also depend of the airlift to the destination. So we are pending to know when are starting to fly back again the airlines, the most important airlines to the destination.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump in here, guys. We work with destinations all over the world, and we've got the airline side of it, the immigration side of it, and now, you know, now the exit side of it when the US says do not travel internationally. So what we're seeing with each resort is they really don't know. Every single resort here, it really, the word closed is the wrong term. It's shuttered. They have the staff, they have the ability, they would be open business as usual right now if they could. It's more the case that the countries, the visitors that come and see them are either, you know, highly restricted or recommended not to travel, or the airlines have canceled the flights in lieu of that, or they have their own cases at the other end, although to be honest, a lot of this is US and Europe driven. So a lot of the time they don't know because they're having to take their cues from the government and the airlines. So for Cozumel, I always ask these questions if you guys ask them in the forum, but I think it's a question that's been asked in every single one of our seminars, and I've actually got a little bit of time to share it, that from our standpoint, what we're seeing is the resorts don't have a choice but to take their cues from the governments and from the airlines. And then as soon as they do, they're ready to roll. So what I would do is recommend travel.state.gov is a good one, CDC, who monitor, and of course we're watching all of these all the time, monitor what the governments are doing, our own government, or if you're ringing, I know we had some European viewers earlier and Canadian viewers, what your government is doing as far as recommendations or restrictions on leaving your country, and then also what the country is doing there as far as restrictions their end, either for everybody or for your particular where you're coming from. What will happen then is the airlines are going to have to scramble and reinstate their flights. Right now they're canceling or delaying, and it's like a domino effect as time goes on and restrictions go on. They are setting their schedule to reflect that. But they can also reinstate flights. So if something happens and all of a sudden this thing ends faster than they think, they can start putting some flights back on. And as soon as they do, the hotels are ready to roll. So I don't want to stop anyone from asking questions and looking for honest answers, because you're always going to find that there. But in most cases, the resorts just don't know. What you're going to get the best idea is if you start monitoring what the governments are doing this end and their end, then the airlines, and then the resorts will be there the second all this starts moving. I hope that's okay. I wanted everyone to ask that, but just from we're living this all day, every day. So I know nobody has the answers right now, unfortunately, and that's normally why. We have some more questions asking about shore diving.
Yes, I just wanted to say, we have a lovely sandy beach. So as you guys know, the sandy beach is going to follow into the ocean. It's quite shallow, so it's not ideal for shore diving. Also, just out front, there is quite a bit of boat traffic. So shore diving is not really an option there.
Okay, thank you. Evelyn, can you talk a little bit about your boat fleet? Can you tell us about the boats you have, how many people on each boat?
Sure. We have 5 boats available. We have a small boat with up to maximum of 8 divers. And then we have larger boats. They're like the Sea Ray boats. They're custom dive boats built. Our maximum for individual divers is maximum of 12 people with 2 dive masters. Our largest boats can hold groups up to 24 if you are coming with a dive store or your dive club and you all want to stay together on the same boat. They have water level platforms, ladders to come in. Of course, they have radios, first aid kits, down oxygen units. Everything is all set up and ready. It's very easy getting in and out, and the staff helps you every moment that you're on the boat.
Thank you. Christine, you're on. I know you had a question. You were talking about the kind of diver that you are, and you've never been diving in Cozumel before. You're on the mic.
Hi, thanks again.
Hi.
Hi, I've never actually been able to do a drift dive. I've been to Cozumel several times, but not had a chance to dive. So I'm one of those divers that can be down, sipping air for a really long time because I like to just hang out above the coral, looking for my macro life.
Sure.
If there's drift diving, I mean, I guess it really depends on the weather, right? How quick your drift is. Is it allowable for more of a coasting, or is it really just kind of picking you up and taking you away?
For the most part, it's just a mild to moderate. So it's like, depending on the time of year, some times of the year are a little bit faster. The current can pick up with temperature changes, you know, as you get heat up or cool down, basically. But for the most part, it's mild. You drift along. It's what you're looking for.
Well, thank you.
And Dennis LaRue wants to ask, while we're still back to diving, fins on or fins off ladders?
Usually, what we do so that you can get up easily, well, you can take your fins off, also your gear off if you like, to hand it off to the dive master. They'll pass it up for you. That's always a question that some people like to get up with their gear, some people like to get up without their gear. But fins off for the ladder.
Thank you. And we just want to say hi to Lily Mack. She's been hanging out with us all weekend. Her husband proposed to her underwater at Sidrow Pass. So,
oh, wonderful.
Yeah. Let me see.
I see some dive times asked there. We leave at 8:30 in the morning, and then we have another trip at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay, Rob Parker joined the meeting late, so he asked, while we're talking, could you possibly just run the slideshow again in the background while we're talking?
Yeah, she's been doing that.
Oh, you're already doing that. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so busy reading the text.
Sorry.
Somebody asked about all-inclusive. Yes, both properties are all-inclusive. That's all your meals and your drinks. Depending on whether you choose Sunscape or Secret, Sunscape has, I mean, you ladies will have to tell us because it changes all the time, the different restaurants, how many, and bars, but especially between the two, if you stay at Secrets too, my goodness, you've got a lot of different choices on food.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to share a little bit more about that? As far as number of restaurants on each property?
Okay, it depends on the property, as you said. Secrets have 6 restaurants, and Sunscape would have 4. But if you're staying in Secrets, the great thing also is that you're allowed in all the restaurants at Sunscape. So you get
totals 10.
10. Thank you for the ads. I'm really bad at math. And I keep reading, and I see a lot of questions coming about the best season for diving. Do you have any of your favorites?
The best season for diving?
Yeah, like what month? Yeah, I think so.
All year long, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate here because our weather and everything is wonderful. The conditions are great, usually calm. Occasionally in the winter, if you get a strong enough cold front in the US, we'll get a little bit of a wind down here. So the port may be closed a day, possibly, or 2. But other than that, like, we do have weather all year long. That's great for diving. I also noticed someone asked about dive times. We don't cut your dive time. You can dive with your computer, no decompression time, basically.
Great. I know you ladies are reading the box. I don't want to make this the Cheryl show, so I'm leaving you to.
You're being excellent because it's hard to keep up with all the comments and questions, but
yes.
I think basically you already covered the transportation. I just want to elaborate a little bit more. At the airport, we have not only the regular taxi services. You can also, right now we have a new service that it's a shuttle, it's a shared shuttle, and it would take you to any of the resorts in the island, and it's really affordable. And you can do it shared or in private service. So that's another option for whoever comes to the island to use getting out of the airport.
Thank you. You just so you know, Eliana, you'd cut out a little bit there. So if if we do have any more, if you're able to, I don't know if there's anything you can do, or it might just be the connection. So
give me 1 second.
sure. What I will say to you ladies, because I know we were kind of like last minute, you had so much else going on with what's going out there right now. So I know this was kind of a very last minute thing as far as organizing this for you. And we totally understand that. I know that you guys have 2 beautiful brochures, one for each property. If you have PDF versions of that, if you're able to send them to us, we have a folder we're sharing with all the attendees with handouts in. So we would love a PDF version of your brochures, and we will get those as soon as you can get them to us. We will upload those for everybody, because you guys do need to see these properties. They're absolutely lovely. When we go back to Cozumel, in fact, me and the Deep Blue Dive team, we don't very often get to go away together, but when we do, this tends to be our choice of where we meet. We just have so much fun. It's such excellent value, even the secret side. I mean, if you're not, there's a bit of a price bump. And us as agents, we work for you. So we tell you when we're in our honest opinion, whether the price bump is worth it or not. This is something where it's not a massive price bump, but it is a bit of a price bump. And I know a lot of people are going to be more on budgets. We definitely recommend Sunscape as far as, excellent value for money. And if you have children with you under 18, it's definitely a solid resort. Beautiful beach, good places to eat, drinks included, amazing value, and right on top of the best dive sites in the southwest part of the island. But if you can afford that bump up, and you don't have anyone under 18 with you, Secrets is the way to go. So just kind of sharing that with you.
Okay,
Absolutely, yes.
About Secrets, if Secrets is only adults, yes, Secrets is only adult resort, and it's actually the only resort in the island that has that option. And Rita, I don't know if you want to elaborate a little bit about preferred section in Secrets.
Yes, the preferred section, it has added values. It has our own check-in area, lounge area, swim-up bar exclusivity for our preferred guests. And the difference is that the rooms are located in a specific section of the resort with different added values.
Yeah, I will say, like, definitely Secrets versus Sunscape. I was like, yeah, the adult only, the bump up, the extra restaurants, the top shelf booze, that's got my name on it. But until I actually stayed there, I really didn't get the preferred option, because then it's a little bit more of a bump up, not massively. But once I stayed in the preferred section, it was really, really cool, because I loved having our own bar. As I mentioned, our daughter got married there, and we ended up with about 50 of us for her wedding. So we took over the preferred section, because it basically meant we had our own pool, our own bar. The bartender's the same one you get to know every day. It's an awesome location. There's plenty of pools, so it's never really crowded, and definitely the ones with all the slides, because that area you saw with the 2-story slides is the adult only section in Secrets. And it was designed for grown-ups to play and have fun, and that is a lot of fun, and it's part of the standard rooms. But it's kind of nice if you want to chill and get away from people coming down the slides and the discos going and everything. If you want to be more relaxed and have a more exclusive feel, then the preferred section comes with a little club room with a bartender on site of your own, and not on your own personally, but anyone that's just preferred only. Pool table, ping pong balls, self-serve espresso bar, extra check-in. So it just makes everything more sort of exclusive and quiet. I'm not a fancy girl. Not saying I don't like pampering, but I can have a great time on a budget. So I wouldn't normally sign up for the preferred section, but I went in the preferred section at some point, and it was definitely worth it. And once we had my daughter's wedding, certainly with a group where we wanted to be able to connect more in a central point and kind of take over, it was definitely the way to go. Ted Cole wants to know what else there is to do on the island.
hillsides, there's mangroves. We have old lighthouses. We have undiscovered roads. We have ruins on the island. We have horseback riding. We have jeep tours. We have all water activities. So yes, there's a lot of things. We even have a planetarium that is considered one of the largest in America and one of with the newest equipment and systems. And I know this is something that not a lot of people know, but if you want to enjoy the planetarium at some point, they do great stuff. So basically, yes, there's a lot of to do. And so it just depends on the likes of each person, what options would you like to explore?
So Matthew Green has shared that there is a cave full of bats that you can see.
Oh yeah.
Rita has said about bike tours free of charge for guests to use. Freedom in Paradise is a great beach bar. Rent bikes and ride around the island. There's lots of things to do, as Ileana said. I actually went out one time and discovered a little old grandma that lives in town, that she has a little cookbook, and she's not trying to sell this cookbook. Actually, it's like $10 that you can share with your friends online. It's not even printed. A lot of it from Mayan grandma recipes, and she put this all together, and you go to her house and you go through her cookbook and you choose 3 different courses, and then you go downtown with her to the market and you choose all the ingredients and shop where the locals shop. Then you come back and the first thing you do is do handmade margaritas, and they're phenomenal. Hard work, but I make them for my friends now at home to this day. A lot of lime squeezing. And then you make some appetizers for yourself, and you basically do a 3-course meal in her kitchen downtown. So for anyone that's into like cooking classes and, you know, shopping where the locals shop and eating how the locals eat, like that was a real full-on experience. There's other cooking classes as well in town at restaurants that are a little bit more upscale and very cool. A place called Condesa that's got beautiful gardens. But if you want a real authentic sit in a grandma's kitchen and help grandma cook while the kids are running around, it is amazing. As I said, the turtle nesting and laying is also cool, but you've got ATV jungle rides. I mean, you got all kinds of stuff. Cozumel is very understated as far as things to do for other people, you know, people other than diving. Excellent diving, but horseback riding, sailing, you name it. So I don't know. I think that's
sorry, they're asking about skydiving in Cozumel. Yes, there's skydiving in Cozumel, and it can be arranged for sure. And also, we have something that they just started in Cozumel. We have the sky dining. You know, that crate that would take you upstairs, and you have a full meal. It can be a dinner, it can be a breakfast, it can be something in like a lunch thing. So if you haven't done that, I totally suggest it. It's really affordable, super fun, really nice food. I was surprised.
And David Yelly said it's such excellent diving. Why would you want to do anything else?
Yes, be in the water all the time that you're here.
And I apologize. Did we get to Glenn's? I think we covered it, but I'm so sorry. It's not that I'm not present, but I'm trying to kind of make sure everybody gets their questions answered. Did we answer Glenn's Fawcett, what's diving like in mid-November? And if we didn't, did we cover year-round?
No, mid-November is great. We've passed the hurricane season, and the water is still warm. Like during the winter, the water will go to around minimum 80 degrees or so. So, all year long, it's wonderful to dive here. And the ocean is calm at that time. It's before we get the north winds. Perfect time.
Did you want to share a little bit, maybe year round, what's the best time to come, maybe possible times to avoid, or?
Like I said, pretty well all year long. We sometimes get a little bit of rain in Cozumel at the end of May, beginning of June, but you can dive, in the rain. It's no big deal. Never rains underwater. And And I really can't say that there is a time that is not good to come, you know, all year long.
All right, let me say, is Sunscape pet friendly?
No,
No.
only secrets.
I saw someone asking about coral restoration certification. We do not have that course right now.
It was more like he's sharing the link that you can get the certification
Okay.
while you're staying in Cozumel with the CC.
Okay.
Can one of you touch on the adaptability of the resorts?
Okay, we don't have fully handicapped rooms, but we do have handicap adjusted rooms, and in both properties. We have, every place has a ramp, and there's side, I will call it sidewalks, although I don't know if it's the right expression, but it's this sidewalk that goes all along the beach area, so you can actually cross from one place to the other facing the ocean, and you can also do it on the back, and there's ramps for everything. So basically, yeah, we have everything for that. And we have a paramedic on site 24 hours a day, and a doctor available if anyone needs any special assistance with a prescription of something. The doctor would come and get whatever you need. That's.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any other questions for us? You can raise your hands or pop them in the chat box. Don't feel like you have to. We just want to make sure that we're giving everybody the opportunity. All right. Well, I think we're good. I think we have everybody. So I'm sorry if there's anyone I missed. Again, I know you're putting you guys on the spot, but if you do have those brochures in a PDF format or anything like that, anytime you could shoot those to us, we'll make sure they're uploaded on our sharing folder, because I really think they're a great representation of your resort. And it would really give people a visual to kind of put on. Definitely worth sharing those images with, and more details about your hotel.
We'll do that.
I will send them right after we finish the call. Cheryl, I will send you the PDF for both properties, and I will send you the presentation, and so you can just share it with everybody.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. And again, guys, just so you know, I mean, this is like sort of been last minute. Mexico and Cozumel was one of the last kind of, as things were shutting down in the Caribbean and everything else, it felt like House of Cards with one falling after another. And Mexico was one of the last ones to sort of shut down on all of this. So, and with 2 properties to deal with, and different, you know, a lot of dive staff to deal with, these guys have been working around the clock just trying to handle the logistics of having a resort and staff and everything else out in Cozumel. So they've really been under the gun the last couple of weeks. So I truly appreciate it. And as I said, I know everything's sort of been a little bit last minute, but everyone that kind of jumped on and saw that we added this presentation, and the fact that these guys, we didn't get to show them the love the last week or two on being able to donate a prize. As I said, it came out of the woodwork, you know, in the last day. But they have also been a tremendous sponsor, awfully flexible as far as they don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, but extremely flexible on working with us and helping us through this time of COVID. So we really appreciate all you're doing and all you always do for us.
We're here, Cheryl, and please always let us know what we can do for you. And we do what we love to do, so we'll always be here.
Well, that's good to know. It's good for something to look forward to for sure. As soon as this is over, me and my staff are sitting there texting photos back and forth to each other with memories, like we're ready to come back. So thank you so much, Evelyn, Ileana, Rita. Thank you for everything.
And thank you to everyone for your interest to see our properties and our dive store, and hopefully we'll see you here soon.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank you so much. So everybody, I know a lot of you have been rolling with us all day now. So we actually have a few minutes to take a break if you need to fuel up on coffee, or, you know, it is a Saturday afternoon where I am. So I think maybe it's time for a cocktail. Mike Mulvey has just poured some red wine. So cheers to you, Mike. I'm going to go pour myself a Tito's, stretch my legs for a couple of minutes. Maria's drinking gin, so cheers. Looks like Terry's vodka as well. I tell you what, guys, we have a couple of minutes. If you got a glass there, I'm actually about to pour my second secret coming out, but it is a Saturday. It's 5 o'clock here, a little bit later than that. So I think it's time to pour a quick one.